Welcome, my wonderful people. I am your sister and your friend Anne. In today's teaching, I will be talking on why some married men do not and cannot satisfy their wives sexually. Why some of the married men do not satisfy their wives sexually. There are a lot of issues on earth today, a lot of problems in marriages, a lot of health issues in different persons, and this has brought the attention for us to come into this topic to be able to educate our women why some of their husbands are not able to satisfy them sexually in marriage. One of the reasons why a man is not able to satisfy his wife sexually is because of the question of inexperience in sexual activities. So many married men who married in the Lord, who were not exposed due to their closeness and close work with God and religion, are not able to carry out with these activities, with this action, with this job in their marriages. I'll call it a job. Yes, it's part of the marriage. A man who do not have experience before marriage, or who had experience but a little of it, who was not really into it, will not be able to satisfy their wives sexually. If such is the issue, women, I want you to know this, that because your husband was not really a man that was going here and there after many women, he focused on his studies, and as a result of that, all these things mentioned, it has affected his knowledge about sexual activities. And I believe such a man can go into internet and begin to see how he can help himself to make sure he satisfies his wife sexually. Another reason why some men who are married cannot be able to satisfy their wives sexually is as a result of stress. Because of the economic situation of the world, so many men are really struggling to bring make sure that there is food on the table in their families, to take care of their families, to take care of their children, to take care of their surroundings. Many of them have dependents on who looked up to them for help, especially their mothers and fathers if they are alive. Even their sisters, so many of them depend on only one man, only one person. And you find that this man is struggling, and at the end, he will come back to the house, not able to meet up with satisfying his wife. And this causes a lot of problem, men. Please, as much as you take your job serious, as much as you pay attention to your job, make sure you remember that you have a woman in the house who is waiting for you to also satisfy her. Another reason why so many men in marriage cannot satisfy their wives sexually is as a result of an unresolved conflict. Because of hardship, so many men are not able to meet up with providing the needs of the family. The children are there, everywhere the relations are there, the parents are there. It's not easy. So many of them come back to face their wives who are ready to give them troubles. And when any of these things happen, you find that the man may be angry and not able to resolve the issue on ground. And this will make him, because of the anger in him, not to be willing to, go after their wife in bed. I plead with you people, I pray that according to what the Lord our God said, he said we should not let our angers see the next day. Try to make sure you be the leader. Make sure you carry your wife along. Anytime there is problem, if you find out that you marry such a woman who cannot humble herself to come and ask, for you people to resolve such issue, make sure you call your wife. Tell her that you are not happy for what she did. And before you know it, your mind will calm down and you will begin to carry out your duty on her as the husband. Try to resolve issues in marriages is necessary. Another thing that makes some men not to be able to satisfy their wives sexually is as a result of chronic illness. You can bear with me that there are a lot of sicknesses all over, the world. Especially if you can look back and remember when a case of diabetes came on board. So many people were not able to make it alive. If a sickness can weaken, or if a sickness can take the life of a man, what can it do? What can it not do to the organ of such a man? If a man has a chronic illness, there are sicknesses that can weaken a man, prostrate, all those kind of sicknesses. There are many of them that can come up on a man, and that such a man will not be able to satisfy the wife sexually. A good wife, what do you do when you notice that this is the case? I would plead with you, women, instead of looking aside, instead of forgetting that there was a time your husband was, bubbling, calm down, encourage him, try to make sure he feels happy. By doing this, the man can come up. You wouldn't know. And also try together with him to look unto God. Go through prayers. Prayer also works miracles. And men, I would want to advise that whenever you go for tests, because men are good in hiding their results. Whenever you go for tests and you find out that there is, something that came up on your body, on your system, go back to your wife. Open up to her. This was the promise you made to her on that wedding day, for better, for worse, in sickness and in health. So why would you want to bear that sickness alone? Why would you want to hide such a sickness, to your wife? Moreover, if you begin to deny her sex in a way to cover up, many of them cannot bear it. This is why you see a lot of women outside today. Many of them will dash out, to the street and begin to mess up, and may bring back to you a sickness that may be even worse than what you're suffering from. Make sure you expose what you are going through to your wife. She will be an encouragement to you. This is why I tell you that whenever you want to marry a woman who has understanding. Marry a woman, who can encourage you. Marry a woman who is matured, not by age, spiritually. A woman who can withstand and help you to stand on your feet whenever there is any issue around you. Another reason why such men are not able to satisfy their wives sexually is as a result of lack of knowledge of sexual techniques. There are a lot of things on board today, whether the devil brought it or not, because it was not so. In those days, during the days of our parents, they were not into what people are into today. A woman will go out, before you know it, she will give you an excuse that the man, the husband, who married her is not able to satisfy her, nor give her the styles she wants. This was not so in those days. There was a story, recently, a woman who was to be married, to be wedded in 3 days coming, was seen and caught in a hotel with another man by her husband, the man that was doing everything to wed her. And when she was asked her reason, she said that because the husband who is marrying her, going to wed her now, does not know how to satisfy her, does not give her all the style she needs. Then I asked her, this thing you are doing now is it good? She said no. They asked her again, why did you not marry your boyfriend? She said that because her boyfriend was not ready to marry her. Then she now decided to come over this one who is ready to marry. You see how men enter into problem. You enter into trouble, with women who are already, linked, who are already used to all these techniques, things you cannot even do. How do you think that marriage will work? How do you think if you married a woman whose eyes is outside, can control her? You cannot control her. You can give her order and her mind is somewhere else. At a time, she will say, what is the need of marrying you? And then it may be late. No wonder there are a lot of reports today that many women, have children for another man, even while they are married. We need to be very careful, men. Before you marry, make sure you sit down with your wife. While you are married, sit down with your wife. Tell her every step, everything you are going through. Likewise, the woman. It helps, to bring bond. It helps to, bring more love between you people. If you really married a woman who is, God-fearing, who loves you, who takes only you to heart, who knows that you are the only one she has in life, she will support you. She will encourage you. Never hide your sickness from your woman. Another thing that makes some men not to be able to meet up with the obligation of satisfying their wife sexually is as a result of the drugs they are taking. There are a lot of drugs that weakens the system. We can attest to this, fact that there are drugs that affects the system. Some of them can go to the extent of, destroying a man's libido, destroying a man's urge, destroying a man's desire. Most times, a man will, want to fight for his life, knowing fully well that at the end, he will get, back to his feet and begin to do what he is not able to do today. Women, please listen to your husbands. There is time for everything. Sex can come when your husband is, alive and healthy. If you're assuming your husband dies, and you have children, you can't leave those children just like that. It's not difficult. It's very difficult, my sister, sorry. It will be very difficult. Encourage your husband to leave, and get back to his feet. Everything will be possible again. If you have anything to add to this topic, why some men cannot and will not be able to satisfy their wives in marriage, kindly use the comment section. Kindly pour out all your mind, advise women, advise men. Tell them, to always hold on, that everything will be all right. If you are just watching us for the first time today, kindly subscribe to this channel. If you are our returning viewer, kindly also encourage us. Comment on this topic, like this topic, share this topic, spread this channel to other of your friends. Tell them to come and watch practical solutions to marriages. And as you do, the Lord God Almighty will bless you. See you next time. Remember, we post our videos 2 to 3 times every week. Love you. Bye-bye.